Ahead on Connecticut's news station, a homicide investigation in Hartford. We're told someone was stabbed. We'll bring you the very latest from police.
And another cold night ahead. We're going to talk about when the temperatures rebound. Full forecast coming up.
Plus, ahead, UConn joins the growing list of universities seeing student demonstrations over the war in Gaza. And tonight, we're getting answers from campus police after reports of arrests.
Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin tonight in the Blue Hills neighborhood of Hartford, where we've just learned the name of the man who died after being stabbed just across the street from an elementary school. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Sarah Sanchez. 41-year-old Jason Williamson of Windsor was found just after 3:30 this afternoon in a car outside a home on Plainfield Street. That's less than 200 feet away from the parking lot of Jamoki Elementary School. Hartford police say Williamson was unresponsive when officers arrived. He was only pronounced dead after arriving at the hospital. Police believe the stabbing did not happen on Plainfield Street, but at nearby Keeney Park. Now they say it's about piecing together what happened.
We know that there was an altercation. There was a 911 call placed from that location. Officers responded there. We do believe we have some potential witnesses from that initial altercation who we're speaking to that hopefully can provide us some information.
Police are still investigating tonight. They've not taken any suspects into custody. If you know anything about this, you're asked to give police a call. After lots of sunshine today, temperatures are starting to drop out there tonight, but overall, pretty quiet evening. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank has more on what we can look forward to this weekend. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, we have more sunshine in store for the next couple of days, but it's the same old song and dance tonight with a freeze warning in effect. Just like last night, temperatures will be headed back down towards that 32-degree mark. And there's a frost advisory for the immediate shoreline of Middlesex, New Haven, and also Fairfield counties. Not quite as cold as the rest of the state, but still, if you have those early season plants that you want to protect, if you have the last few nights either brought them inside or covered those plants with a light blanket, I would do so again tonight. Temperatures right now are in the 40s for most of the state, upper 30s right now in Norwich. And as we head towards daybreak, we're looking at overnight lows near 30 degrees, including 30 for Windham, upper 20s possible for some of our cooler spots. Waterbury might be able to get there, and lower to middle 30s for the Connecticut shoreline. Another frosty start to the day, but with that sun, it feels so nice by afternoon, and a big rebound with highs up around 60 degrees as we head into your Friday late afternoon and early evening. It's another chilly night tomorrow night, but then temperatures will start trending up. But that warmer push of air heading into the weekend also comes with a threat for a few showers. We'll time them out for you. Full forecast coming up, Sarah.
Thank you, Rachel. New here at 10. We're live in stores. Pro-Palestinian protests at college campuses have grown even wider, now expanding to include an encampment at Connecticut's largest university. Here's a live look at UConn's main campus in stores, where police made their presence felt earlier when students set up tents. But right now, things appear to be very peaceful. So far, Fox 61 learned at least one arrest. That was earlier in the day, though. And then earlier this week, dozens of Yale students were also arrested for similar demonstrations. We're watching this situation closely. You're getting a live look right now. As you can tell, it's pretty dark out there, so we can't make out signs or anything of that nature, but we do see a pretty large presence. Demonstrations on other campuses have led to arrests and even the cancellation of commencements at some major universities in the U.S. We'll have more on that coming up at 11. Still developing out of Naugatuck tonight, a peaceful spring morning disrupted by gunfire at Bombers Pond. Police say they were forced to fire shots at a man after he charged at them. We still don't know exactly what went down, but locals we spoke to are still shocked this happened in their neighborhood. Here's Fox 61's Julie LeBlanc.
Well, the park is back open now, and families are able to gather here again, with police clearing the scene not too long ago. This after they had the place shut down all day during the course of their investigation, as neighbors are still feeling uneasy about what happened here. A place people come for peace. A school bus stop. and where a fishing event was held last weekend. Now a crime scene.
It's just kind of a shocker, you know, that something like that can actually just happen.
Mike Torrento lives just down the street from Bomber's Pond. He says he heard some of what happened Thursday morning.
I heard gunshots, pop, 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 and then later on I found out that it was a officer-involved shooting.
Naugatuck police say just after 9 a.m. they were called to the pond for reports of a man with a knife. When they got there, there was a confrontation between that man and two officers, ending in both officers firing their guns. Police say the man was taken to a local hospital along with the two officers, who they say are safe.
I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I pick him up almost every day over here, and it's always quiet, nice place to walk.
Beverly Robinson forced to pick her 5-year-old grandson up from the bus in the face of the investigation.
Nice place to just, very serene area. So for this to be like this is very shocking to me.
Others who have lived at the nearby Lantern Park condos for years feeling that same shock.
It's a beautiful day. There could have been a lot of people over here, you know. That's the scary part.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but glad they took care of it, and hopefully he's all right.
Now, as with all shootings involving an officer, the Office of the Inspector General is taking over the case as they work to figure out whether the actions of the officers were justified. We are in Naugatuck. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Local leaders and community members gathered tonight for a summit on safety on Hartford's North End. The discussion centered around a history of violence, specifically homicides, in different pockets of the Upper Albany neighborhood. Among some of the attendees, Siobhan Campbell, who's leading the mayor's new department called the Office of Violence Prevention. Notably not there, though, Mayor Arulampulam or Police Chief Thodi. We're told some community policing officers made an appearance. The church behind the so-called Armed Citizen Brigade was one sponsor of tonight's event. The group has been known to take an unorthodox approach to addressing gun violence by organizing armed volunteers to patrol the Garden Street area. But their organization has faced a lot of pushback, drawing criticism from groups like Mothers United Against Violence and the mayor himself. No matter the approach, though, all meeting organizers tonight hope the discussions will inspire new solutions.
Tonight was not about any particular one nonprofit. Tonight was not about what government thinks about community. These are residents who organize their voices around particular issues that mean something to them in their neighborhood.
Everybody is preaching that this needs to be a community effort. Like, it can't just be one department, it can't just be one, it just can't be a city effort. It needs to be with the police, with the community. It needs to be everybody.
Organizers also asked the public for input and heard comment. So far this year, Hartford has had 5 homicides, all in the northeast end of the city. Last year, there were 28. Flames tore through a row of condos in Brookfield this morning. Take a look at this video from Sky 61. You can see the extensive damage. In all, 10 units were destroyed. 2 people living at the home were rushed to a hospital to be checked out. We're told they're going to be okay. Fire officials say the first report came in at 1:30 this morning. One person living there told us how the flames spread from 1 unit to 10 more quickly.
The whole porch was ablaze, and then it started into the roof, and that's when it spread. It just jumped through the roofs because they're old buildings. They were built in the 60s, and there's no firewalls between the attics. It's just regular wood walls.
The cause of the fire is under investigation. New details out of Groton tonight. The driver of the car involved in the deadly Gold Star Bridge crash last April is facing charges of negligent homicide. Police say Reginald Collins' car got a flat tire, which caused him to lose control before coming to a stop on the bridge. A fuel tanker then hit that car, bursting into flames and trapping Collins. 2 officers rescued him, but the truck driver died. Collins is also facing charges for driving an unregistered car without insurance and for improper parking. We're also learning more about yesterday's shooting in Middletown that put Wesleyan University into lockdown. Police tell us they arrested 19-year-old Chauncey Robertson. He allegedly was involved in a shootout with someone driving a black SUV on Court Street. The driver was firing back. They have not been found, though. No one was hit by the bullets, but police found several shell casings in the area. Robertson's being held on $1 million bond. The search continues for the person in the SUV. A state Senate bill would give help to hospitals so they can defend themselves against cyber attacks. The recent cyber attack on Change Healthcare only highlighted the need for better digital security, and it exposed how vulnerable the industry really is. Senate Bill 1 focuses on getting medical providers prepared. Fox 61's Bridget Bjorlo takes a closer look.
Connecticut State Senator Saud Anwar wants to help hospitals fend off cyber attacks.
A few months ago, 3 of our hospitals in the state of Connecticut were under a cyber attack. And in some 40+ days, the 3 hospitals were without access to internet, without access to be able to connect internally with the various parts of the healthcare system.
The co-chair of the state's Public Health Committee says the healthcare industry is becoming a common target for cyber criminals, and it's time for state leaders to go on the offense.
And what Senate Bill 1 is looking at is a way to have us be better prepared. And the reality is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's what is important for us to act collectively as the state of Connecticut need to do better to be able to plan in advance.
Hackers are lured to the healthcare sector for its digital systems that contain sensitive data, like billing and medical history.
And we should all be eyes wide open. We're dealing with sophisticated and nefarious actors that are global in nature.
It's why industry leaders say they should work together to safeguard patient privacy.
We have to make sure that everyone in the state of Connecticut feels like their personal information is protected and that we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure it's protected and used in an appropriate way.
To prevent cyber attacks like the one at Change Healthcare in February that caused massive healthcare and billing disruptions nationwide.
We rely on data in public health. We rely on understanding where population health is, and we certainly all support that understanding. But we know that it has to be done in a way that protects our patients and protects our residents.
In Hartford, Bridget Bjorlo, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.